Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, good. Now that everyone's going to be here for today, because this is all we're having today, everyone else is gone. So there's a small. So for a little while, Nate and Kate have real life nonsense that's going to get in the way of them being here all the time. So they're going to be on and off for a while. So for some arcs they'll be here, for some they may not be. So in the meantime, them and their characters are still available for RP. Should people feel so inclined, just reach out in the RP planning or with a direct message to set those up. I mean, we know where their characters are Their characters are basically going to the remains of their former village, so they will be gone there for a while. Korbal will be going, and so will Keith. So temporarily, for a little while, Stefan and Joel will play other characters. So be accepting of the temporary new party members, and don't worry, don't sweat the small stuff.
All
right. I would not let that take the hand in the eye.
I'm pretty sure we did this before with those characters.
Yeah, this is just kind of yeah, that's kind of my big announcement for today. And I guess we're gonna get started with that. So the first thing I'm gonna say is shortly thereafter, from returning, Jeeves approaches Sombra to give him something that he's pretty sure is meant for him. So Jeeves tells you that he felt an intruder in the mansion, yet when he went to find them, the only thing he found was a card. And he's pretty sure Jeeves doesn't know. The guy was there and gone in a flash, so he never even got an eye on him. So, but he did find a card, and Stefan, if you want to describe said card, because it's a business card.
So imagine a 100%, we're going to go with like an ivory white, but you've got like, sort of like a skull and cross, like a black and red skull and crossbows in one corner, and then you've got like a dagger along the length of it, and in it you have, in a very striking font, the words, what was it? I posted to Looney here. House cleaning services for those who want a personal touch, and it's signed Johan.
Do I know who Johan is?
You've never heard of this guy, but you've got this crazy looking business card, which, based on your line of work, you're pretty sure that this is a contract killer for hire, so to speak. And Jeeves knows what you do, and he just looked at this card and basically was like, I'm pretty sure this is for Sombra.
And why
How
would I
much
want
of
to?
it is in Thieves' Cant?
Sorry, what was that, Joel?
How much of the business card is in Thieves' Cant?
Well, none. That wouldn't do Sombra any good if it was in Thieves' Cant.
Nope. No Thieves'
My
Cant.
question is, why would I want to hire someone like that when I've already got a bunch of them?
Steve says you never know, he might be interesting. If nothing else, he was able to get into the mansion and get away without getting caught by Jeeves.
That is quite the feat.
Yeah. And it has the equivalent of a telephone number, but for sending. 1-800-Johan, so to speak.
1-800-267-2001.
Dad support.
Has anything else happened, or is this just? Oh,
This is just the first thing. This is just the first thing. So Jeeves is passing along this card, and he does tell you that you should really make sure that your contractors don't break into the mansion because they could get hurt. Or it might interfere with your business or whatever. Not the best place for them to be sneaking around. He tells you to just have them use the front door.
Fair enough.
Then he gives you a cup of tea and walks away.
That sounds like something he would do.
That is something he would do. And now you have this card in your hand.
And a cup of tea.
And a cup of tea.
I will sip the tea.
Good man.
It's a relatively mild tea, slightly bitter.
Not bad.
By the way, you're breathing into your microphone again.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm not breathing.
No, it's Stefan's.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Let me move it away.
Or at least turn sideways.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I've moved it away. Y'all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's continue. So after the tea.
Yeah. Well, you've got this card in your hand
Yeah.
with the equivalent of a phone number.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna try and do a bit of research on the guy first, if I can do that.
Sure, you can absolutely do that.
No.
Research, aka scrying.
No, I think he's gonna have call for one of his guys to go look into this person.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
Well,
one of your shadowy guys shows up and takes the card and looks at it and then tells you he'll be back. And a couple hours later, he returns with a dozen sheets of paper,
All right.
and they're he claims is assumed victims of this person.
victims.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tells you that, as far as they can tell, this guy will work for whoever, doesn't really care, as long as he gets paid.
Of course.
Money talks, so to speak. But his
Yeah.
skills seem to be up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
With the money, as they say.
Yes. So that's kind of what they have on him. As for who he actually is, nobody really knows. He normally just shows up when you have that card, and can negotiate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's when we need them.
I assume all these victims are fairly high profile.
Yep. And they tell you that they were definitely all assumed to be accidental deaths,
Oh.
but they know a murder when they see one.
I bet. All right. Is there anything else going on, or is this all we got so far?
That's all you got on him so far. I mean, they can keep digging, but the only other thing they're going to tell you is that he is some kind of dwarf with gray skin.
All right. Well, the next time we need someone killed, I'll make sure to
And
look into it.
and for some reason, based on the fact that there's always a tiny bit of one at the same, he has a fondness for pickles.
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 Neat.
An odd thing to leave, but okay.
I don't know. Guess he eats a lot of pickles.
Well, I guess we have someone to call if we ever need someone killed.
And actually, as you're holding the card, you suddenly start hearing a voice in your head.
Say.
What's the voice saying?
First it says, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Did you find my card? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?"
Wow. Extortion.
Yes, I can hear you.
You know, when a man leaves a card, he does expect at least a follow-up. I figured somebody as wealthy as you would have use for certain services.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm actually in the middle of something. Just give me...
Okay. I like Okapaka has the StarCraft sounds in his computer.
You're great.
Yeah, but it gives him extra style and flair.
Yeah.
The real question is does he keep on top of his supply depot production, or does he get supply blocked?
You always get supply blocked.
No. I just
You need more
additional-
pylons.
Yes. Need more pylons.
Anyway, alright, so yes. You now have this guy complaining in your head that you didn't call him on his card, so we called you.
Uh-huh.
A little fast there. Go, Sombra, who are you talking to?
So, are you there?
Indeed here. Damn it.
Well then, nice to finally get to hear your voice. I've heard so much about you on the underground. Your recent floor has caused quite a stir.
Is that so?
Yes, and from what the rumors portend, you are in this conflict. You are the one with the bigger treasury.
Well, you certainly heard correctly in that regard.
Yes, so I was wondering, perhaps we could enter some sort of an arrangement. Perhaps a retainer arrangement, and I would be able to provide my services on an ongoing basis.
Curious. That does not sound like your usual contract.
Well, I've noticed of late that things are changing in the world, and I've heard of what you and your business partners have been up to. And, well, I think it might be more profitable for me in the long run if I aid you. I see which way the wind is blowing. And I plan on being on the winning side and the side that has the most money.
Pretty sure those are often the same side.
Exactly. Also, I've heard rumors of certain parties trying to bring about the end of the world, and, well, you know, you can't really spend money in a world that's gone, where there's no world.
That is a valid point. So then, if you are that keen to journey along with us, I assume you would be prepared for a meeting.
Oh, of course! In fact, why don't you head on over to the bar?
Uh-huh.
And as you hear that in your head, you see Jeeves walk back in the room and say, I think your whoever is back.
Yeah.
And he says,
uh,
I'm assuming I can leave this to you.
yes, for now, just let me handle it.
Hmm. And with that, he's going to leave again. And he's going to take the empty teacup with him, because, you know, butler.
Mhm.
Damn it.
All right. I do actually really need to focus on something here for a little bit, so just give me a few minutes.
Alright then.
Alright.
Alright, in the meantime, I will switch to something else that's going to happen pretty quickly. So, when you return, Craig does not leave, because he's going to be sticking around for a while. Not that surprising. And Craig does approach Kieran, though, and ask if he will, if he's okay with gathering his friends, because Craig has somebody who wants to meet with you guys. And he promised it won't take too long. With that,
Yeah,
it's really
so-
important.
It would be no issue.
He says he's going to basically tell Kieran that the Grand Druidic Council has decided to invite you for a meeting, and considering they don't normally even gather often at all, it's a pretty big deal. So yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's just who do I need to gather up?
Basically everybody here who's going to go with you to this meeting. Basically anyone who's up for going to a meeting with hundreds and hundreds of druids.
I don't know, does that seem like something everybody would be fine with? You've got to go to each person individually and just tell them that, oh yeah, we got invited to some weird Druid meeting. If you want to come.
Well, I got nothing better else to do. Might as well.
Everybody else chill with just coming along?
I guess not.
What about Carter? Is Carter good with going on this crazy meeting?
Oh, when was Carter here?
Oh, he was always here.
Carter ever really gone?
Yeah, he never really left.
I thought he went on a few adventures already.
Yeah, well, he's back.
Yeah.
Just coincidence that he's back at the same exact time things are happening.
Yeah.
Catch a break.
Yeah, okay.
Gonna hit on some girls. Get shot down like he always does.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind coming with you guys. Keith did kind of write me a letter saying that he kind of wanted me to keep an eye on you guys for him.
Yep.
Something about a archway of dead bodies.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
That was a mistake.
Eh. No, but
Happy
not a
with
mistake of
accident.
architecture. That was
No, not
impeccable,
architecture.
perfect arch.
Very well made. Very unfortunate the reason it was made.
Yeah, the building materials may have been questionably chosen.
Possibly sourced.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna use corpses, you should at least use like a sturdier corpse than a drow.
Bit lanky.
Yeah, there's not a lot of density to them. What about you, Anthos? You gonna go? You're muted, by the way.
You're muted.
Yes, because I'm coughing up a lung.
Oh,
Yes.
I would say don't do that.
No, it's fun.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then do that.
Does Anthos want to go to the Druid Council meeting?
Not really.
Okay then.
I don't blame you. Druids are very boring sometimes.
Ooh.
I mean, it's just a council meeting of a bunch of old fucks. What's the worst that could happen?
A lot.
Moments later. Bum, bum, bum.
Moments later, the entire forest is on fire. And somehow we're all involved. I think that's the main group, right?
Yep, that's it. I mean, other than Sombra. You ready now, Korth, or you still need a minute?
Yeah, no, I'm back now.
Okay.
Okay.
I just failed again. Just a pain in the ass, but whatever.
Okay. We are good.
So,
Anyway, so I guess we'll go meet at the bar then.
so in the bar, you would see a Dwagar just casually sitting at a table eating a pickle, and he's got a
Perfect.
jar full of them on the table.
That sounds in line with what we heard.
Yeah, and he looks like that.
What was the name on the card again?
Johan.
So I take it you are this Johan I've heard so much about?
Indeed, though I try to keep the name and the face a bit distinct in my line of work.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, let's get down to business, shall we?
Carter sits beside Johan. Hey, you mind if I have one of those?
He gives you a stare. He just stares at Carter.
He gives him a sly
Get-
smile.
Get your own.
Okay.
These are my pickles.
Jeeves pops out from behind the bar and slides a jar of pickles over to Carter.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, good sir. Crunch.
He then also motions for you to sit a couple seats back from Johan, and he leans in and whispers, "You really need to be more careful with your life. Jeez."
What's a little danger to make a spice of life? Fine. Sits a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, he is a friend of Keith. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jeeves just kind of stays in the room cleaning glasses.
So yes, I was saying, yeah, you could perhaps use somebody of my skills on retainer, perhaps on an ongoing basis, and if the price is right, I'm sure we can come to some sort of an arrangement.
The price is right.
Well, we could certainly use an extra hand. However, there is, of course, the issue of the price. I assume you have a. I assume you have a number in mind.
Looney, do I have a number in mind?
Hmm.
Because I don't know how shadow currency works.
Let's see. Let's say you'll take you'll take 5 of those shadow coins for each thing you kill. Doesn't matter how big.
Kill God. Same amount of coins as killing Beepo the Clown.
Yes.
So you'd base your pay entirely on kill count and not on time spent.
A man of my skills, all it just means is that you end up enjoying the job a little bit more.
Fair enough. All right, and if we go through with this deal and you are to regularly travel with us, I will assume an implied statement that you will not target any of us.
Of course not. It's bad form to target your employer. Just
Ah,
make sure that, and I'll be sure to bring any competing offers to your attention so that you may match them.
mm-hmm. Well then,
I mean, my skills are known. People have been known to come at me with varying offers against current employers. And then I just do my due diligence and make those offers known. At which point, well, you know, as long as you pay me, you don't have anything to worry about. And from everything I've heard about you, paying me shouldn't be your problem.
well, as long as we are clear on that point, I see no issue with this arrangement.
Perfect. And he just jumps out on a pickle, and you could probably, depending how close are you, probably smell the vinegar on him.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's
And
not like
then
I've smelled. I mean, I smelled worse.
and then he extends a hand to Shake.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll shake the hand.
All right.
Before you make contact with your hands, one of Sombra's shadowy men kind of just appears in the room, and he has a bunch of sheets of paper, and he's got like ridiculously oversized glasses on his not a face, and he says, "One moment, sir. You must sign here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and initial here, and sign here, and put some blood here."
What's the blood? What is this?
I assume this is all for Johan.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Smithers. Useful as always.
And he says, "My name's not Smithers." And then he
Oh.
plays with his glasses, and he just gets Sombra to sign the sheet at the very bottom once, and then off he goes.
Yeah, seems like standard for protocol.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Smithers got replaced. He pissed someone else. Now I remember. I should really get the new guy's name.
Oh, and then now that you've done this, Jeeves tells Johan. He said, and you my our new friend should use the front door when you enter this residence.
I'll think about it.
You really should heed his words. Jeeves is rather specific and cautious about that sort of thing.
I'll keep that in mind. And you can see a faint smile.
Jeeves just stays behind the bar cleaning more glasses, but he kind of, after he says that, he just kind of turns away. But you get the sense that he is very aware of you and has his eye on you and is watching your every move.
And then I guess Johan will just get up and then he'll leave the room.
Oh, I'm going to say, before you can even get up, you see Kieran walk in and be like, you want to go to a druidic meeting?
That sounds terrible.
Yes. But we all got invited, so I'm asking everybody. You could say no. Anthos already did.
I don't
We know what will
blame
be
him.
discussed at this conference.
No, that's just something that doesn't happen very often, so. Yeah. So it's something important.
Will they be speaking in common?
Yes. Yes, they will.
We wouldn't bully you that hard.
I ain't lying.
I mean, did they expressly invite us or just whoever you wanted to bring along?
Whoever, it was me and my allies. But they said that my allies don't have to come.
So they know who we are.
Yes. Listen, every fucking animal can be an informant for a druid, so it's not surprising.
Mhm. I suppose I may as well.
All right.
You just hear from a corner, okay, but when you look at the corner, you don't see anything.
Not even gonna question that, but all right. You can't be hidden if you're coming with me, though.
You don't hear a response.
Sure, that'll work itself out, anyways. That's everybody.
Okay. Well, then, Crag tells you that to gather whoever's coming in, meet at the front gate, and he'll show you how to get there. Because the only way to get to this meeting is to have been at one of these meetings before.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so who's taking charge on the transportation?
I'll be right back.
When you get to the front, you see that Crag just kind of claps his hands, says a small chant, and then he kind of opens his hands like he was trying to do like a rainbow kind of thingy, and just like a gateway appears.
Neat.
Neat.
And he gestures into the gateway and says, "After you."
All right, then. Just walk on through.
Okay.
An attempted dark blob tries to walk through as well.
I'm going to assume that was the person who said yes earlier.
Yeah, he's not very stealthy though. You easily see him. And so does Craig, actually. Anyway, so you guys walk through the portal, and you exit out into a forest filled with trees that tower into the sky, and one particularly massive tree with a giant carving of kind of a sun and a moon, and at the base of it.
Ooh.
Yes. And so in front of the tree are 5 particularly interesting looking druids, and all around the rest of the forest you just see hundreds of druids standing around watching you as you enter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you see Crag kind of step aside slightly, and he just once you do that, the portal closes from behind you, and then one of the 5 people in front of the tree steps forward. He I'm actually going to put the artwork up for the 5 people in front of the tree because they're pretty distinct. Hang on, let me just let's see. Oops, there's one.
Is this literally everybody?
Yes.
As everybody wanted to come along.
Yeah.
I mean, who really wants to go to the Druid meeting in the forest?
Nothing
Just
better
realized I
to
didn't
do
even log
than
in yet.
Me too.
Well, I mean, they are rather exotic.
That's the word?
Hang on, and there we go. Okay, there we go. So those are the 5 druids that are in front of the tree.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the one that looks like the old human with the long ass beard steps forward, and he looks at Kieran and he says, "Welcome, Kieran, to the first Druidic Council meeting in the last 250 years."
Well, that's certainly honored to be here.
And he says, "We have much to discuss involving you and your friends, and what you've recently done, and what we would like you to do in the future." And he says, "The entire material plane is at risk."
Yes.
He says, "At risk in a way that you weren't aware of, and that we only recently have found out about."
Alright.
So,
This is just... It's just the generation where everything happens, huh?
and he says, "First, we have to thank you and your friends profusely for slaying the foul creature from the Shadowfell, the one that was damaging and destroying pieces of the material plane." And then he turns to Crag and he says, "And of course, thank you as well, Crag, for leading that charge and finally ridding us of that terrible beast." And Crag will just kind of nod slightly, and then he says, "And as dangerous this creature was, though, we've just learned about something far, far worse." And he turns to you, Kieran, and he asks if you've ever heard of the Staff of the Elements. And why don't you roll history, and I'll tell you if you remember anything about this.
Let's see if I read that dusty tome.
Are we all rolling history?
No, just Kieran.
Right.
Unless you're a druid, there's no way you've heard of this thing.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Who the fuck needs history? What do you got? Legend lore. Let's go.
You're not there.
No, I'm
You
not. Legend lore is better. Who needs history when you have legend lore?
God damn. Anyways, I'm gonna try that again, see if I can't get better than a 5.
Oh, okay, you're lucking it. Yeah, okay.
Nope, got a 7. Ain't no shit
Okay.
again.
Hey
Who's
buddy,
victory?
hey buddy, you look like you're stuck in thought there. You could use some help.
All right. So yeah,
Help.
you don't. You don't remember hearing about this at all. But you've read a lot of old druidic stuff, and because druids live a long time, they tend to write down a lot of stuff. It's hard to remember everything. Anyway, so he says that's all right if you're not aware of what it is, and he says the staff of the elements is a special branch from this tree behind us, and this branch, along with four stones, form an incredibly powerful tool or a weapon if used in such a way. And unfortunately, we've lost track of where the stones are. And he says they were stolen, and the druidic circles that we put in charge of guarding them hundreds of years ago, we've recently learned that they were slaughtered and none survived.
Oh dear.
Off to a good start.
Yes. And he says each of the stones originated from one of the elemental planes back when the world was created. All that chaotic energy was kind of left over and crystallized into these stones. And each on its own, it can embody, can create, if used improperly, mass destruction and natural disasters. And he says the Earth Stone can be used to create earthquakes strong enough to demolish entire cities or crumble mountains. The Firestone can spawn volcanoes, raining fire down everything. The Water Stone can create a tsunami that can wipe away an entire continent. And the Stone of Wind can create tornadoes and hurricanes with the blink of an eye. He says, individually the stones are dangerous, but if someone had more than one of them, it's a disaster. The entirety of life on the material plane is threatened.
Alright.
Why is Winter Wolf running
Alright.
around the druids?
It sounds
don't
like you
know.
stones.
Is Winter
Anyways,
Wolf running around the druids, like trying to get attention?
I think I'm just gonna let it. Just gonna
Yeah,
ignore
they're-
that and continue on.
They're druids. If they haven't dealt with a stupid animal once or twice, they're not a good druid.
Racist, but okay.
Anyway, so
You want
as
pets.
they're explaining this, and they say, but more than anything, these stones are even more dangerous when combined with this staff. And he says, thankfully, we still have the staff.
And how many of the stones are there?
There's 4.
Oh.
One for each of the elemental planes, and they were stolen.
Here I thought there'd be 6.
Element.
Well, unfortunately, the rest of the stones would fall out of Druid stuff.
Yeah. So he then says, and based on what they could tell, the ones who stole the stones, or at least 2 of them, were demons.
Sounds about
Damn,
right.
imagine my shock.
Yeah. One of them seems to have been stolen by somebody else. Based on the damage and destruction, they would say somebody connected with the Shadowfell, and then they're not sure who stole the last one. And so they are asking if you and your friends will take up the task of finding the stones and returning them here.
I don't see why we wouldn't. It's another thing we need to do. On the list of 2 things right now. Besides the main goal.
Well, it gives us a reason to go to the plane of fire, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, probably could be on the plane fire. So yeah, we could do that pretty easily.
And he tells you that if you do manage to gather all the stones, that just once they'll let you use the staff. They know, they assuming you're responsible with it in your cause, in your war, so to speak, just once.
Cool.
Yeah. And then one of them turns. Then he turns around and he looks at the giant tree, and he says, "Anything to add, Ancient One?" And then there's kind of silence for a second, and then you hear a lot of birds moving around as you suddenly see a ton of birds fly off that tree as the tree slightly moves, and a pair of gargantuan eyes open up on the tree.
Is this the
And-
Deco tree?
We're dealing with the great Deco tree.
and then the tree, a mouth kind of appears and it opens out of the tree and it yawns, and it says, I don't. No, it says.
Sorry, I just had to.
It says, "I don't remember what we were talking about." And the Druid apologizes for the Ancient One is probably the most ancient thing still alive on the material plane. This tree is incredibly old. Been around for eons. And whichever god awakened it is long gone. Nobody remembers its name. The tree itself doesn't remember its name. It just knows that it's been here for literally as long as the material plane.
Pretty fucking old.
Yes. And then it remembers you were talking about the staff, and it says, "The staff." And then you hear like a loud creaking as one branch slowly lifts down, and it kind of hands that druid. Hang on, let me just get the artwork for this. This staff. Hang on. Where did I put that? That one. What do I call it? Alright, that's it. Boink. That's the staff.
Neat.
Yeah. And even as you're watching it, that's the staff. And as you're watching, you notice that the owl on top shifts form into an eagle, and the moon is replaced by a sun. And then 5 minutes later, it does it again.
Interesting.
Cool magic.
Yes. And then the Ancient One says, "I'm supposed to give the staff to him. I remember now." And it kind of lifts the staff and it places it on the ground in front of you, Kieran. And the druids in front of the tree all turn around and they say, one of them says, "Are you sure? I thought we were supposed to keep the staff." And the Ancient One says, "I'm pretty sure. I think.
Perhaps.
Maybe so.
Perhaps." And he says it doesn't do us any good here anyway.
I mean, what's the worst thing I could possibly do? Use it as a paperweight?
Alright there, Loki.
Anyway, so the druid, he turns around and he basically says, "Alright, well, according to the Ancient One, you're supposed to have the staff." And he says, "Don't let it get stolen."
Of course.
And he says, "When you find the stones, place them inside the staff."
I assume there's some very obvious little holes in the staff right now.
Yes, there are 4 of them. They kind of glow blue, and he indicates that you're supposed to place the stones in there. And then when you put all the stones in to return here, and that Crag will bring you back when that time comes.
Alright. New mission.
Yes, new mission.
Find the Infinity Stones.
Hey, I could have been referencing anything.
I was thinking the fifth
You're right,
element.
there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those types of items in fiction.
Yes.
Element,
You know,
yeah,
the four ranks to summon Captain Planet, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's all
Pretty
these
sure that's
stones are
fine.
useful.
He's a hero.
There's really only 4 though.
5. Fifth element.
yeah.
Doesn't count.
Ah,
Anyway, okay, so yes, and then they say, is there anything else you kind of wish to ask us while you're here? It's very rare for these meetings to get together.
Questions. I don't know. Do you really got nothing on the last stone?
They say it was the one stolen most recently, but there was no evidence of the crime there. Even the bodies of the circle themselves were gone. There's just nothing.
That wasn't me.
The fact that you say that is a little concerning, but okay. Sir. Okay, man who smells of pickles.
Boy, not a man.
All right, ma'am.
Free, goddamn you.
Pretty
Alright.
good. That's pretty funny. Seriously, though, this is a very rare opportunity. If you have any questions that you've ever wanted to ask a druid, now would be your chance.
A question.
Carter's got a question.
Of course.
Carter, what's your question? We have some
Sorry,
art here.
I can't put myself together to ask the question. But
Does it involve the
basically-
tiefling druid?
Actually, it involves the one on the far left.
Yeah, the tiefling.
Is that one the tiefling? I thought the tiefling one was the second one on the left.
Far left is, I think, the human. Or which one was that?
Alright,
Oh yeah, you're right.
okay, so the left one is the human female, then you got your tiefling, then the older human, then the furbolg, and the last one is the one that looks like a tree.
Carter is
From left to
going
right.
up to the human one, going, "Hey, you do it."
Hey, how's it going?
And she actually laughs at you, and she tells you that you're about 500 years too young to be trying that with her.
Never too
Even if
young.
you are good with animals.
Hey,
Oh,
youth is youth.
I don't
And
think
she
it's
Well,
that
says,
work.
you would. Does he say something to the effect of, "You wouldn't believe how good I am at rolling animal handling"?
"Oh, that's bad." But she is
Awful.
gonna say, "I'm no longer young. I just look it."
He just gives her a shrug. Wolfgang seems to like you though. You can carry on if this is distracting.
He's just gonna shoot a shot. All right.
Yeah, he's just shooting a shot.
Okay. Does anyone actually have anything else to ask of the Druidic Council? Now's
Uh,
your chance.
I'm not there.
I'm just looking through Ginny D's video about pickup lines, looking for something that'd be just as funny.
All right.
I'm listening to Donda.
She doesn't have any druid ones.
And
She has this one about wild shape. Anyways, yes.
I don't think I got any questions.
Okay then.
100 years.
Just kind of gives them the okay hand signal and just kind of says, "Yep, I understand everything. I swear."
And he says, you know what? Check in with us every time you find one of the stones. And he's going to just he's going to walk over and hand you a leaf, and he says, you'll need this to return here.
Alrighty. Probably
And by the
do
way,
that.
the leaf has a pair of eyes on it, googly eyes that follow you when you wherever you go.
Fascinating. Into the void of the bag of holding it goes. As do any of these other people have questions? Because I don't.
No one? No one's got
So-
any questions? Oh,
Okay, so actual question: how long have these stones been missing for?
and they tell you not long at all. They all disappeared within a matter of days.
All right, so they are still relatively close by, hopefully.
Probably not, because they probably teleported in and then teleported out.
Yeah, but
Yes.
at least they haven't been able to, figure out a way on how to maximize the usage of them yet.
True. I haven't had to figure out how to use them to do untold destruction upon the plane of existence. Is there a weird ritual that involves with these stones? That's a good question, actually.
They tell you no rituals required. All that's needed is knowledge of the stones and how to use them.
Is there a weird ritual involving the stones?
He says none that we would ever create. But we're not going to pretend to say that someone else couldn't theoretically try to use them for some unknown nefarious purpose. They're incredibly powerful and filled with magic from the planes, the elemental planes. So
Yep.
perhaps they could be harnessed for some other thing.
I don't know, you got any questions for this group of chuckle fucks?
I guess one of them, the one that looks like the tree, who has the voice of a little kid, runs over to you and asks how you, a druid, came to be traveling with a bunch of people who are quite different from druids.
Pure
Variety
Chan.
is a spice of life.
By divine God,
Divine defense.
divine intervention.
I think it was just pure Chan.
Uh-huh.
It was literally
Yo, you just gonna leave
there were
out the
some
God
demons
part?
infesting a ruin. I was nearby, and then it just was all downhill from there.
And he does say, well, nature is quite chaotic and unpredictable. You never know how things will go.
Nope.
Nope.
Never expected to watch some guy have his full redemption arc.
Yeah. He says, I don't know what that means.
I watched that guy go from necromancer to person.
And he says, well, that is a very big change. I'm quite impressed.
It's neat. I almost killed him once. That was fun.
Breathe, goddamn you.
Huh?
Oh my god! That's pretty... And he says, well, I'm glad you didn't. Violence should only be resorted to if absolutely necessary.
Yeah. He was asking for it.
And he says, well, I'm glad you took the approach of the tree. Peaceful and serene, very slowly changing.
Yep. Sure. Well, he didn't fall in love and realize that maybe being evil wasn't a good idea.
And then he says, love.
Man, it's a simp.
What more represents nature than love? Chaotic, unpredictable, and completely natural.
Truly. Well, I don't think anybody else has any questions. And I don't think you guys don't have any questions.
Nope, they're good. They've given you their mission. You just accepted it with no questions asked. Oh,
At this
that
point,
makes it easy.
I don't really think it's just like, oh, magic stones that could potentially end the world. Just another day in this fucking group. We're already dealing with like an evil. We already have another world-ending evil artifact that we're trying to destroy.
Yeah, so, by the way, Crag is just looking at you, like, in shock and awe that you're just so nonchalant about this whole thing. Like, this is such a huge deal, and to him, he's like, oh my god, and you're just so, like...
Whatever.
Yep, this is just what happens.
And he's
Used
so in
to it.
shock, it takes him a minute before he realizes that he's your way out, and he's like, oh, right. And he does the thing again, he opens the portal. And then he starts bowing to the Druid Council, and he says, a pleasure to see you again, elders. And then he's like, just kind of like gestures for you guys to go through the portal, because he doesn't know what to say at this.
I'm going to wave as I leave. Turn around, give him a goodbye wave, and then just walk through.
So, Crag will follow you guys through, and as you're leaving, just as the portal's closing, you hear one of the druids say, well, that was one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
Carter actually, before he leaves, he's going to turn around and like give the phone to the ear, mouthing, "Call me."
Oh my god.
Yes.
He's a character. What can I tell you?
Truly a man who never gives up.
You see her chuckle as you do that, and then the portal closes. And did Johan go through it, or did he just stay behind for no reason?
Oh, Johan would have gone through the portal too.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't randomly lose somebody, alright.
So you are deposited back in the front of the mansion, and Crag says, I can't believe you were able to be so calm around the elders. I'm the Ancient One. We got to hear him speak.
Yes. I honestly don't know why I'm like this. But I am.
Crag knew Kieran, he would say, look to your mother, but he doesn't know you, so
No.
he's never met your mother.
Nope.
Yet.
Thankful for that.
He hasn't had
Not
the
yet.
misfortune.
Not yet.
I'm
He
sure it's
will.
only. I'm sure that's a ticking time bomb.
Well, they're both in the mansion. It's inevitable they'll run into each other at some point.
To be fair, I think at this point we're essentially being called God Slayers at this point. So,
We're
Reading
getting
other-
close.
great beatings, I don't imagine it to be a difference.
We're already dealing with like two potentially world-ending things. I don't think a third is really going to matter at this point.
Crag says, man, things have changed since I've been away. He says,
Yeah.
are all youth like you?
No,
He says, I have to ask Jeeves for advice.
no, this is very weird for most people. I'll say most people don't have to deal with artifacts of untold power.
When you say that, he just takes his hand and he puts it to your forehead and he's like, you don't feel warm.
Aw.
Hey, man. How do you feel about this box?
Don't. Let's not mess with the box. Let's not talk about the box.
The box, jeez.
You opened it. I came.
Okay. Well, so that was the first big thing. So at this point, you guys are gonna have a couple days before anything serious happens. So is there anything anyone wanted to do during those couple days?
Investigation time. Is basically what he's going to be doing for the past few days.
Investigating?
Yeah.
You're looking for the stones, or for something else?
No, actively looking for the stones.
Okay. Well, then I will take 1 survival, 1 nature, and 1 investigation roll from you, which will determine if you are able to learn anything.
Survival, nature, and investigation. I'm gonna redo that survival because that's weeks. Nope. We'll have to take the 14.
Yes, apparently. Yes, we will. Okay. So, you go to the location of the most recently disappeared one, which is just no trace whatsoever. And while you're there, you look for signs of footprints or tracks or whatever. You're pretty good at that, but for whatever reason, you're having an off day. You don't see anything. And you're trying to remember how Fable investigates, but you can't remember, and you kind of forget. And you're like, I'm pretty sure this is wrong. And then, however, as you're walking by, you notice that there are awakened plants that are just kind of sleeping right there. You know an awakened shrub when you see it, and there's a shrub.
Kind of weird.
Somebody.
Kind of sus.
It's just small shrub sleepy.
Yes, it's a sleep shrub.
I'm gonna walk over. And we'll poke it awake.
And the shrub awakens, and it's like, "Oi, who poked me?"
I did.
I did. Totally calling it.
I did. How are
I-
you?
And he says, "Well, I'm kind of grumpy because I was having a nice nap, and then some whippersnapper decides to poke me awake for some reason."
Well, considering there was a crime here, and you're currently at the crime scene.
He says, "What crime?" And then he looks around and he says, "Hey, where'd everybody go?"
They all disappeared, along with the stone that was kept here.
And then he says, "Wait, how'd you know about the stone?"
I was sent by the druids.
Roll a persuasion, because he says, "That doesn't sound accurate. The Druids haven't met in over 250 years. They're not gonna just send some person I've never heard of."
Guess what, bitch? Yeah, they did now.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, if you've been to the Druidic thing, prove it."
I'm gonna take out the little staff they gave me.
Oh, you're taking out the staff. And then he sees the staff and he goes,
What?
What staff did you see?
You're good.
"Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine." I gasped a little too enthusiastically.
What's the gasping at?
The
Oh, the
staff.
The staff. The staff.
And he says, "How'd you get the staff?"
The ancient one gave it to me.
And he says, I have so much trouble believing that, but you have the staff."
The staff.
And then he says, "I have no choice but to accept it, however impossible it is."
Clearly, as a staff, so it's not impossible.
Bless you.
And then he
Anyway.
says, "So what do you want? You want to know why everyone's gone?" And he says, "Well, I don't know. I was asleep."
You know, were you ever not asleep?
He says, "Oh, sure. I sleep like, I don't know, 8 hours a day, and I'm awake the rest, like a person."
All right. Well, when you are awake, did anything seem unusual?
He says, "Well, now that you mention it, I couldn't help but notice that the druids of this circle kind of started to ignore me. Like they didn't realize I was there. It was really weird. Nobody even gave me any fertilizer or anything for like a whole week. And they kept just sitting around, chanting things, but nothing I'd ever heard them chant before. Real weird."
You recall the words they were chanting at all?
He says, "I don't know, some language I've never heard. Didn't sound nice, though."
Did it sound particularly guttural?
He says, "Now that you mention it, I suppose that would be how I would describe it."
Was it demons? Oh,
He says,
God.
but I can't believe they left me behind. What a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, clearly. Hmm. You remember? Can you pronounce a single word they were chanting?
And he says, no, I didn't pay attention to it too much.
Okay. Did you see any weird symbols while they were chanting?
He says, yeah, kind of look like like our Druidic symbols, but, had a bunch of extra pointy bits in it, and was with, like, red ink. What a weird looking red ink. I've never seen them use that before. I don't know, really weird.
Damn, that's crazy.
And, like, a small stick comes out of the bush and, like, draws it on the ground so you could see it.
Is it demonic?
It sure looks demonic.
Great start. Is the circle still there?
There's no sign of anything like that around. And then he says, I still can't believe those jerks left me.
Yeah. Can't believe they didn't take you to the weird demon place with them. Hmm. I think I could safely assume that demon stole this one too. Probably. Maybe. Good chance.
I know, and he says, well, I'm gonna yell at those people the next time I see them, or my name isn't Mother Shrubber.
What?
Alright, burn the plant.
Alright. It's a very nice day.
Yeah.
Well, Mother Shrubber, you can go back to sleep if you want.
He says, what? I'm not going to sleep now. There's nobody here. Who's gonna look after me? He says, you gotta do it. You're a druid, right?
Yes.
He says, well, don't you have that sword thing where you're supposed to take care of plants or whatever? Well, I'm a plant.
Okay. I could take you home and we'll take care of you.
He says, perfect. All right, let's go.
Take me home, country road.
Just gonna do one more quick look around, and then we'll probably head back.
Okay, I will let you roll one more of each of those rolls. Oh, that's a very good survival roll. Okay. As you're looking, you're giving it another look over. You're like, I'm pretty sure I'm actually really good at this. Like, I swear. And then maybe it's because you hear that bush being a pain in the ass, but he does tell you to hurry up because he wants to go. And he says, like, seriously, aren't you good at this? Aren't you supposed to? And he gives you hints while insulting you. And then eventually you realize and you see just a single hoof print in the ground.
Single hoof print.
Yeah, but not a hoof print in any animal you've ever heard of.
Demonic in nature.
Yeah, and inside that hoof print you find a tiny bit of ash.
Fantastic. Well, that basically confirms my suspicions that Demon's still the third one, too. Or the cult. Probably demons.
So why didn't they just take them all at once?
What was that?
What? Why did they take them all at once?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably had somebody infiltrated, probably brainwashed all the druids here, or indoctrinated them. Had the perform ritual, and the demons came and took the stone at the druids. Is a guess. Anyways, let's head back.
And you hear Mother Shrubber go, "Let's go already!"
Shut up, we're going. Anyways, we'll just head back with this new information.
And as soon as you get there, you see the shrub looking around, and you see him starting to drag himself with his branches over into the fields. And he says, don't forget to come water me every day.
Yeah.
And he says, and I like my fertilizer to have minced up bits of orange and apple in it.
Sure. I'm sure I can get somebody to do that.
Oh, and
Yeah,
he
I'm
says, and you gotta make sure that I'm not too much in the sun, but not too much in the shade either. So I may need to be moved from time to time at different points in the day to be in the right spot.
Wolfgang is actually going to go up and start drooling on the plant with its watery saliva.
And he says, and I can only be watered by the perfect, most perfect crystal clear mountain spring water. So don't forget that.
Yeah.
You're getting pond water. You're gonna like it.
Assuming the wolf isn't pissing on him already, marking his territory.
Wolfgang is thinking about it. I can
You're gonna
tell.
kill a plant. You guys gonna nuke this plant?
No, he's just going. He's mostly just made of water anyway. He's a water wolf.
It's a being of water, so it's probably fine.
He's just drooling all over the plant right now.
And as the drill hits the plant, he's like, yeah, that's it. That's the water I'm looking for.
Oh.
Alright, that works.
See? Good boy.
And then you hear him as he gets off in the distance. You just hear him lecturing other plants that aren't awakened, asking them names and stuff, like he's trying to talk to them and doesn't realize they're not awakened.
That's sad. Hey. Who knows? Maybe I might fuck around and waken another plant. But yep. I'm pretty sure we could safely say that Demon's still the other one.
Okay. Well, now we know what Kieran's been up to, and Carter went with Kieran, so we know what Carter was doing during those couple days. So, does anyone else have anything they wanted to do? What's Johan up to during those 2 days? Waiting for his chance to kill people.
I have a feeling at one point there may or may not be an incident involving pickles. There may or may not be a sentient talking pickle in the bar at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Jeeves warns Johan that he's very lucky that there's an ogre he knows named Murph, and he's really lucky that Murph isn't here right now.
I'm sure I can handle an ogre.
You're really cocky.
I'm probably gonna spend the 2 days investigating the Ifrit's mansion.
Oh yeah? Okay. Sure. Alright, so how are you gonna go about doing that, just so I know?
Well, do we have any connections in the plane of fire? Because I imagine that most of my people don't like it there.
No, you don't really have any connections there.
I'm gonna go to a library and research the plane of fire.
Is that what Anthos is doing?
Yes, that's what he's gonna be doing.
Oh, well, it's pretty easy to find all sorts of basic info on the planes of fire.
I'm going to the Royal Library and going super deep.
Oh, okay. Well, roll investigation for me.
All right. 18.
Not bad. So yeah, you find books on the various locations in there that go more into depth. So about how generally the plane of fire, if you are not really resistant to it, is a bad place to go because most of it is just fire and sometimes some more fire, and you're likely to die. There's literally seas of fire itself.
Mhm.
However, there's one place on the edge of the plane of Earth that's not the worst in terms of temperature and environment, known as the City of Brass. Happens to be where you know that a certain somebody was being held. So in that City of Brass, it is a Ifrit-run town, but there's all sorts of other races there that are natives of the Plane of Fire.
Okay.
It has a very, very close connection to Hell, and so there's a lot of souls and people and whatnot getting traded back and forth from there. There's, they've got their connection.
Okay.
And that theoretically, it's kind of the best free enterprise city on all the planes. However, that's assuming that a Jin doesn't feel like, or an Ifrit doesn't feel like ruining your day by deciding to use their insane powers to enslave you or take over your business or just kill you because they were bored.
Okay.
Let's see. But that the Ifrits are always open for a deal.
Okay.
That's always on the table. You can always try to bargain with them to get
Alright.
whatever you want.
All right. And then I want to try to find a candle of evocation. Another one.
Yeah, that's fine. You can find those. Oh,
Okay.
and there's one more thing that supposedly somewhere in the Elven King Obnoxious treasury is something that his ancestors once took from him and a Ifrit that they would love if they were to be returned to them. Doesn't say what it was, just that they stole something.
All right.
A couple
Wait, hold
generations
on.
back, it was King Unpleasant.
Who stole something?
King Unpleasant. A couple generations back, King
Stole
Obnoxious's
something.
grandfather. Yes.
Does it say what he stole?
No, just that he stole something, and that it's hidden inside the vault of the king.
All right. I'm gonna go talk with the king.
We'll get back to that.
That's
So if
gonna
the
be
city
no
of
fun.
Just reading
Brass
that, his entire brood
theoretically
just
a more
descends.
habitable place, does that mean it's a little easier to invest?
The city of
Okay.
brass?
Yeah.
Yeah. People can go there. Like, it's just there's always the inherent risks of being there.
That's why I got the candle. So we can cast Gate. Fucking Malus
wonder
might become.
I wondered if that's why you wanted it.
Yes, I want it for the candle for the gate because I already have one that I already burned and I can't use it to cast Gate anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing Mela because Mela has Gate too. And we don't have anyone else who can cast not Gate but Plane Shift.
I can cast Plane Shift.
Yes, we need two.
I can cast Plane Shift.
Damn, Plane Shift's a good spell.
Damn, that's crazy.
I actually don't know who can and cannot.
I
Can
I know
believe-
me and
Azure
Fable
Professor?
can.
I believe Fable can, yes, as well.
Korbal, but Korbal's not around.
It's because you keep on
He
giving
is
us Staff
Fable.
of the Magi.
I know, because I keep rolling it on there. That's why I replaced it with those paints,
everyone
because
can.
I always roll it.
Everyone but
Last time I would have been another one, only I'd replace it with those paints. Don't worry, there will never be another Staff of the Magi ever. There's no more.
No, isn't it Staff of Powers, not Staff of the Magi?
No, Staff of the Magi.
Oh, okay.
I should have gone fucking whatever.
Anyway, okay. So yes, for Sombra, what your troop is able to find out for you is that theoretically, you the kind of things you can be your group is involved with. Theoretically, they could do business there and probably succeed, but they've never tried. It's not exactly their native environment.
Welcoming place anyway.
Yeah, they're used to They're used to a different, unwelcoming, inhospitable, unpleasant place. One they feel more at home in. And in fact, technically, it's a fairly bright place, the plane of fire, what with fire shedding light and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but that if you order it, they will try to establish a foothold there.
Let's not go that far just yet.
All right then. Let's see. Is there anyone else? What about Kopaka? What does Kopaka want to do during the couple days they've got off?
Are we still back in the group, or we're still?
Everybody's off. Got a couple days to do their own thing. So what's Kopaka gonna do?
Well, still managing the Aftertail fortress, really. Just overseeing its progress, helping growing the farms and crops. Speaking of which, did you create a map yet for that place or no?
No, I did not.
No. Yeah. Beside. Oh, well, there was one arc I was thinking of doing, right? But it's not yet complete, so I'm gonna skip that part for now. But yeah, just looking for some improvements.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
One of them involves like trying to find stronger material to make the fortress a little more sturdier, given the damage it's sustained over the years.
Okay. Well, just so happens that there's a stream of a really sturdy material coming in. Since you got back, thanks to you guys, adamantine is being slowly sent to the rest of the world now. So.
Above table question. So, are we thinking of going to the city of Brass next? Is
Yes.
that okay?
Hang on.
Right.
We'll get to what you guys are gonna do once we get there. There's more stuff to happen yet, and then you can make a decision. Anyway, so Kopaka spends a couple days hanging out there. You're able to arrange it so that they get the much sturdier adamantine, which they can use to build their walls. That should make them feel nice and secure in there.
Yep.
In terms of their farming, they are doing quite well. There's a few small towns in the area, which, being good people inside those towns, they've shared things to help seeds and tips and tools and all sorts of stuff to help them get set up and kind of hit the ground running with that.
Perfect. Has there been recent bandit attacks or no?
They had just a single pair of bandits come by thinking that this was a place they'd used every once in a while as a hideaway, and they showed up, saw that there's all these people there, and ran off.
Huh. Perfect. This is our territory now, you punks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's there anything else you wanted to do other than that?
I went to the Fake Queen, right? And then she gave me a gift of some sort. Would it be a stone or a plant of something?
Oh, she'll definitely give you like a small ivy plant. 100%.
Okay. What's so special about this ivy plant?
Oh, nothing other than that she can look at you through it.
Oh, perfect. That's well for my story. Which I believe, did I send it to you yet or no?
No, you did not.
Yeah. It's not completed, but at least it's the gist of it.
Okay. Let's see. So, and Johan said a thing about a pickle. So Johan has the ability to turn into a talking pickle. He was warned that Murph would have eaten him. Is there anything else he's doing, or is he just waiting around for the action to start?
I mean, if there's any open jobs, he would of course take care of those. But I could see him maybe. Well, actually, no, he wouldn't really be in. I could see him like being in the bar, but just being in the corner, invisible, just brooding. Like, in fact, I could see there being a sign: "Brooding corner, no one allowed."
Well, anytime you put a sign like that up, Cheese will remove it because there's no brooding corners, and he'll frequently give you cups of tea, whether you ask for them or not.
The tea disappears over the course of the day.
Every time the tea disappears, more tea will appear.
One head, two more, so tickets, please.
So real talk. I don't really have ideas.
Okay. Let's see. We know what Carter was doing because he went with Kieran, and we did Kieran, and we did Anthos. Let's see, and we got Kopaka. So I guess, and we know what Sombra was doing. So I guess that's everybody. Okay. So back to what Anthos is doing when he goes. He said you were going to go talk to King Obnoxious. Yes.
Yes.
Boy.
Well,
Yeah, okay. So, when you go to speak to King Obnoxious, he's sitting there and he looks rather agitated in his throne room. There's a bunch of turtles around, as is now always the case with him, and he's still mumbling about the fact that these stupid turtles. And then he says, "And what the hell's going on with all that stuff coming into our forest? And how are we supposed to get rid of them?" And then he sees you and he says, "Ah, perfect, you." And he says, "What was your name again?"
Anthos, sir.
Yeah, and he says, yeah. Anyway, he says, "So here's the deal. There's this whole ton of these zombies that have started coming into our forest from somewhere. So go get rid of them."
I'll go talk to the church, sir.
He says, "We already did. There's way too many." He says, "There's like thousands of them. You go get rid of them."
Fucking. I'll put it on the fucking itinerary. Also, I need to talk to you about something that your grandfather took from the fire plane.
And he says, "You know what? I'll make you a deal. You do what I want, and we'll have that talk."
What a great deal!
I'm gonna hold you to that, and if we don't, I am revoking a lot of things.
He says, yeah, whatever. Okay. He says, "Make sure to do it quickly. Trees are getting damaged, and people are probably going to die, and honestly, this whole thing is more paperwork than I wanted to deal with. Ugh, I hate paperwork, and
Sir,
stupid
you never
nobles
do
who
any
don't do it."
paperwork.
He says, "Yeah, that's because I hate it." And he says, "That's what you pencil pushing people are for."
Sure, pencil pushing. That's what I do. I'm just gonna start walking out.
And then you just hear him say, "And somebody get me something to drink."
Oh dear.
Do we want to send Wolfgang up?
And he says, "Get me some of that whiskey. You know, my special whiskey."
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go look for a fucking
This guy
maid
doesn't
then.
seem to be the most. Oh,
I'm gonna leave now.
You leave town?
I'm gonna go meet up with everyone.
Okay. So yeah, a couple days pass and everyone kind of gets back around the same time. So I'll leave it to you guys to decide what the hell you're gonna do.
So, my king's grandfather took something for the plane of fire from the Brass City, right?
Yep.
And we may need that. Also, there are a bunch of zombies appearing in the forest. When I say a bunch, I mean like over 1,000.
It's more like tens of thousands.
To tens of thousands. So we need to probably deal with that.
It's quite a lot.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yep.
So that's the thing we need to probably deal with.
Probably.
What else? Also, I learned some more about the city of Brass.
You tell.
I relayed the information from earlier because I don't quite remember all of it.
Uh-huh.
As a player, I don't.
That's
I'm dumb.
fine. It's okay. You're able to relay everything you learned. So now you and on top of what Sombra learned, so you guys know that the connection with hell and that the trading of slaves and souls is the big thing there, by far.
I think we're gonna need the thing that the ends that none of our previous kings stole. Probably good barter item.
Probably. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why there's so many fucking zombies.
That is a
I
good
don't know.
question.
Probably.
Or I don't
nothing
know.
good.
It's a shame Korbal isn't here so we can look at him suspiciously.
Fourth World Korbal. I have nothing to do with that. I was never in that jungle raising dinosaurs.
These are not dinosaurs. These are people. Not that Anthos took the time to actually ask about any more details about the zombies, but there's some very unique and very interesting details about these zombies.
I'm sure if it wasn't a key obnoxious talking to him, we probably would have gotten better details.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was King Obnoxious, so nobody really wants to stick around there.
Nope.
Well, he's not called King Magnanimous or King Friendly or King Not an Asshole.
Uh-huh.
King
I
fucking.
like the
oh
name
my
King
God.
Magnanimous.
Nothing specifically King Obnoxious. He lives up to his name, so you can give him that.
Man literally said he doesn't like paperwork when the dude doesn't ever do paperwork. Fucking.
Guy never does anything.
Who doesn't do anything complains about having to do things. That you'll never do.
The demo is so gushy.
So
If
yeah,
anyone's
Reds.
watched Redsco.
If it's a shame the elves are so uptight about keeping tradition, or they would have ousted their terrible king.
I mean, they basically already have. He just got the queen at this point.
Did someone say regime change was in order? Regicide?
We're not committing regicide this time.
I'm
This
not about
time.
the regicide.
This time. I don't know. To me, I don't know. It's not a D&D campaign unless you have at least one regime change.
We technically already had a regime change.
Yeah, you're right. We did.
I thought we had a few.
I'm sorry, we're still recovering from the last time we did that.
Yeah, they're still replacing lost nobles, and
This could be the last time.
That was a tragedy.
Look up for a god to
really.
send more souls. Fucking, fucking elven life.
Alright, so we know that there's this undead army. We know that there's stuff that we need, that the MacGuffin from the Brass City. And we know that Karen's been up to a bunch of nonsense.
Yes, Demon's probably still the last. Demon's still 3 out of the first ones, most likely.
Oh yeah, and we need to track down Thanatos because he has a Sword of Kos.
Yes, he has the nice sword that we need to destroy the evil artifacts.
So, do we know where Thanatos is? Like, at least like what plane of existence he's on?
all you know is he's not on the material plane.
How?
So probably out of reach for now.
Like, well, how? In order to find him, would you have to like plane shift to each plane and cast scrying on each plane to try to find him?
I suppose that's one way you could try to go about it.
Well, what are some other ways of going about that?
Well, that I can't tell you. Just I know of a number of ways.
I mean, the undead army does seem like a more immediate threat.
It is a bit more immediate.
Kind of need to do that.
Everything else is going to be like long term because it's not going to be easy at all.
So let's go kill zombies.
A little round of massacring the undead
There we go. Pick up.
is probably going to be the easiest one to finish.
Yeah, pretty much.
The other two require us to do long-term investigation. So unless we have something else to do, we just want to go kill the undead in the forest.
All right.
Okay then.
Alright, I'm going to keep that Staff of the Ancients on me at all times. Or Staff
Oh.
of the Elements.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, basically the only person I can trust with is myself at this point. And maybe Jeeves.
Come on, don't you trust me?
No.
It's good point.
He can't trust you because you have someone who's willing to steal from you working for you.
True.
Oh, and by the way, Mother Shrubber is now completely implanted himself and is now growing in size quite rapidly.
Of course.
I'm sure that won't become a problem anyway. And if it does, I'll probably sort itself out. Who knows?
Maybe he'll become friends with the cactus.
Funny you mentioned the cactus, because that's the field he decided to go plant himself in.
You know, maybe I'll awaken the cactus. That'll be fun.
To
I
be
think
fair,
it would be
that
fun.
Would be quite interesting to see Keith react to that.
Maybe I'll turn into a red cactuar. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you're off to the Elven capital, I'll tell you what happens when you get there.
I'm concerned.
There is panic going on everywhere, because in the short time you left, there's a lot more undead than there was before. The entirety of the capital is surrounded as undead pour into it.
Alright, let's start.
There's
fucking
chaos
rolling
in the
on.
streets.
Oh
And-
no.
Yes, and you notice that there's something, now that you're seeing these undead, you notice something very familiar. You guys have seen it enough times now to recognize it. You realize that these undead are all wearing clothes with emblems that would imply that they're from the Order of the Platinum Dragon.
What?
Oh, fucking shit.
Where's Cadence when we need her?
Who knows?
Deceased. Let's fucking.
And you all have memories of a certain undead army that was just missing. That was made up of all the bodies stolen by Morgan.
They're coming
from the tombs
forest.
of the from the tombs of the Platinum Dragon.
It's in the forest, isn't it?
Uh,
We gotta go into the forest.
So all those missing bodies, if you guess you found out what Morgan did with them. And you do remember she had a plan where she was going to send an undead army to attack the Elven capital. And what do you know? It sounds like she still set that in motion before she died.
damn.
Damn.
Fucking
Damn.
Goddamn witches.
Well, fucking everyone go get the clerics. And some fire magic. We gotta fucking.
We need Mela.
Mela's here. Mela can't kill everything by herself, though.
I think Mela's our only cleric right now.
I meant more of the larger, like, church. Yo, what's going on? Where's your fucking clerics? Your paladins.
And actually, you go in there and you don't see anybody except for one young apprentice cleric. And he
Ooh.
tells you that the king called all the clerics to the castle to protect the castle.
Of course he did.
Of
Of
course.
course. Can I just walk over to the wall and start hitting my head against it?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll athletics to see how hard you hit your head.
There's that flag. There you go. Not very
You
hard.
Not very hard at all.
How many zombies are there?
There are a lot. As you're in the church, you see a couple walk into the church behind you. Or shuffle,
Alright.
I should say.
I shoot them.
It's fine. These are regular zombies. They just fall and die pretty easily.
I don't even look. I just shoot them. It's like, I can't. Alright, let's just fucking start this.
You can see the apprentice is like, he's like cowering in fear. He's like, oh no, zombies.
I fucking slap them. Stop cowering. They're not that strong.
In the
He says-
meantime,
He's like a child.
the
Come on,
Fire
man.
Rex is just
Any more
dancing
powerful
around,
looking ones?
stomping zombies down.
We need a fucking. There has to be something binding them, isn't there?
Do they all
Uh,
look like just useless mobs, or do some of them actually look like more?
Oh yeah, some of them are more dangerous. The two that happen to walk in there are really decrepit.
Mhm.
You see some more dangerous ones running around, and you can see that zombies seem to be able to use the equipment they are carrying. So some of them have pretty powerful stuff,
Alright.
big ass warhammers and stuff.
Alright.
Fuck,
Something-
we actually just need to start going through.
You also see you do see the occasional guard fighting back, and I mean these are well trained guards and they're pretty good. However, you notice there's also a lot less of them around than there should be.
Why are there less
Yes,
guys
they're all
around than there
defending
should
the
be?
castle, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. We just need to start going through and killing stuff and making our way
Yeah.
either into the forest to find wherever they're coming from. Are they still
Yeah.
coming out of the forest?
They sure are.
Now we need to go into the forest.
Yeah, Johan's gonna use the darkness to try to look for
Yeah.
high priority targets.
I'm gonna actually make sure that he does that too.
Like, we have to go. It seems like they're coming from someplace, right?
Sure does. They're all
Within the
coming from
forest?
generally one direction, deep from the forest.
All right, we're going.
Though
that
you
way.
do notice that the individual citizens of the town have taken advantage of the fact that they live in giant trees and all their stuff are in giant trees, and they're for the vast majority of buildings. So all the citizens have evacuated to an upper level where they are safe for now.
Yeah, no, let's go to the forest and fucking find the source and break whatever is keeping them bound here.
Oh, and by
It's
the
not-
way, as soon as you exit the church, you see the giant door slam behind you, and you hear like a comically large number of locks be latched.
None of those will do anything.
If the door's broken.
Yeah. No.
And then a minute later, you see the young man who was in there climbing out the window on the roof and then up the side of a tree.
God.
Poor kid.
Whatever. We gotta go into the forest, guys. Come on.
Alright.
Yeah, we gotta figure out why they're still here, despite the one who made them being dead.
That's not normal.
I don't think most undead just shamble around after the magic is gone.
Nope.
Ah,
Which means they're
Isn't it-
bound to a sigil or like some item.
Do we need whatchamacallit, pass without trace?
it's up to you. If you
Uh,
go stealthily, or you just
I
want to
was just-
go cleaving your way through undead.
because we don't have Goldie because they took it, right?
Yes, they would have taken Goldie.
Okay.
We want to go through this silently?
I'm just making sure. We did keep the box from them, right?
No, Fable kept the box.
Why? So
Alright, whatever.
We have a giant
long as the
fire
box is
Rex.
safe.
She was very clear to me that she was keeping the box, so I know for a fact she kept it.
I got a
Whatever.
fire Rex. We can just use a wagon.
okay.
And if we want to go stealthily, I have Pass Without Trace for free.
Oh, okay. If you can cast it for free then, because I gotta burn 2 key points to cast it.
No, I get it for free, thanks to
Oh,
my
you're a
staff.
shadow monk.
I also get it for free.
Hell yeah.
He's
let's just
not
fucking-
just a monk.
Let's try to move fast, but also stealthily. I clicked it twice. Oops.
Okay. Alright, then roll stealth, everybody.
And then, hold on.
All right.
I'll make sure to roll stealth.
Let's go.
Well, let me find my.
You ready
thing
for
first.
bad stealth rolls? Cause plate. Never mind. 7. Okay.
Alright, hold on. I'm trying to find.
Same thing both times.
You doing this?
Apparently,
Dice have spoken.
they have spoken.
And I hate it when you can't find your token. Ay.
Let's
Alright,
use your
GG.
sheep hall.
Yeah. I'm not going to be the best at stealth. I know that. Where's the stealth?
So we're having passed that trace.
Here it is. What do I get?
You get a 7, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't have. You don't have advantage, which is unfortunate because otherwise that would have been a nat 20.
Yep. Also that.
where is my freaking?
Because we're gonna be in thick tree line.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
It is. I found it. Alright.
Those tree lines are going to be thick.
Wait, so if I'm invisible, will that give me advantage on stealth?
No,
Yes,
you're-
yes.
Like no.
Sorry,
Yes.
What type of invisibility? Like with what?
sorry.
The invisibility I get from Umbral's sight, because we're going through a thick
Oh.
forest.
No, you don't have advantage on stealth. That
You're
means
just invisible.
Yeah,
you're just invisible to dark vision.
yeah.
Oh.
Invisibility is interesting in 5e.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So based on those stealth rolls, the lowest roll would be, I guess, Mela and Kopaka each
Yeah.
ended up with just a 17,
Mhm.
which still isn't bad, which is more than enough to get by the passive perception of a bunch of zombies. And they just shuffle right on by you.
And delve deep into the forest.
Okay. Well, you travel for over an hour and you still don't seem to have reached wherever they're coming from. But you do notice that you're starting to see other undead mixed in with the zombies. You see some skeletons, and you even
Mhm.
see what looks to be like vampire spawns in there. And then as you keep going further and further, you see whites mixed in. You see some mummies. You see it's starting to kind of get. You're seeing all sorts of undead animals.
Mhm.
It's starting to look a little more serious.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
Goody.
Under the zombie apocalypse, gents.
Mm.
No, she's just trying to start one. All right, we're have to keep going further.
Oh,
And-
god damn it.
Anyway, eventually you see you come across you see on what looks to be some kind of decayed corpse in a robe ordering some of the undead around, and you can see he's checking like paperwork and like being like, okay, these ones go here and these ones go here and you're the next ones to send out.
Is he wearing anything?
He's just wearing a purple robe with a big pointy purple hat on top.
Does it seem like they're coming out from someplace nearby?
Actually, now that you notice it, you see that guy. There seems to be a couple portals, and the undead are pouring out of them. And as they pour out, you can see he like basically sends them off in groups, based
Do we
on
have
the
maps
instructions he seems to
For this,
have.
by the way.
Not right now. We don't.
All right.
We'll get one if we need it.
How close
Well-
are we to him?
We found the source, that's for sure.
Now we just gotta close it.
Is this time where Johan decides to just Leroy Jenkins and kill the guy?
How close are we, by the way?
He just within sight. He's just entered
within
your
sight?
sight. Yeah. He has not noticed you. He's very engrossed in his work.
I want to see how close we can get first. I want to get within like 30 feet of him.
I need to get within 60 feet.
Let me see.
Hmm.
Does he seem to be a being of this plane?
I mean, it looks like he was probably a human once
At some
upon a
point.
time.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we just need to assassinate him.
Yep.
So only
We
within
can get
30 feet?
within-
Since he's the source of the portals.
Looney, can I get within 60 feet of him?
Let me just check something on this. I'm just
If
checking.
it's like a little light here, then yeah, I would assume because that's our dark vision range, right?
Well, actually, mine's 150, but...
Alright, so here's the deal. He sees Mela and Kopaka before you are able to get that close to him.
Okay.
Good.
What does he do?
And he turns and he says, "Get the hell out of here, or I'm gonna have to kill you." And he says, "Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna kill you now. You seem like you're a sturdy type. You'd be a good undead."
Oh,
And then-
my-
And then
Sorry.
he starts fiddling around and he scrolls. He's like, "Okay, hang on. I got
Is
what
he
I need
fiddling
here."
around? Right?
Yeah, he's fiddling around. He's like, "Wait, hang on." And he starts
How-
like looking in his robes. He's like,
How
"Wait,
far
where'd
are
it
we
go?"
from him when he's doing this?
I'm gonna say you get to be just 60 feet away from him as he's like fiddling around in
Perfect.
his things.
We're gonna shadow step and
Divine
we're gonna
intervention.
Yeah, kick it in the head.
roll that D100.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, let's see if your DD intervenes. Nope.
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 That's what she does. Anthos is gonna fucking do something very different.
I
Alright.
bet.
And then I have, what is it? Because I shadow step, my first attack has advantage. So poison
Anthos is
rapier.
pushing at him.
Wait,
Does a 30 hit? Oh, I'm assuming it hits.
Yes.
Okay. Then I get my free attack from Gloomstalker, but this is the remaining part of my multi-attack. And then, where is Gloomstalker thing? It is... Hold on. I think it's Dread Ambusher. Yeah. Yep. So I get to make one extra attack. And then free action, we're gonna Stunning Strike. So that's, and because I burned a key point, I get to do key empowered attack, which is a free attack with. You can make one with an arm strike or a monk weapon, and because there's something about monk weapons being any weapon you want as long as you have proficiency, we're gonna make another rapier attack. I'm assuming I'll hit.
Yes, they do.
Daka, and then there's an additional D8 in there.
Yeah, so here's what happens. You go over there and you see this guy, he's like, hang on, and you see him reaching and he's like, where'd I put that stupid thing? He's like, damn it, I knew I had my staff in here somewhere. And he's like, or maybe one of those scrolls. And he seems very indecisive. And as he's fiddling around with that, you just see Johan kind of just appear behind him, and with his rapier, you see him just slice off the head. And then you can see the head kind of bounce on the ground, and then he's like, with the head kind of still looking up, and as the arms and reach in the cloak, and he's like, where is it? And then a minute later, he's like, wait, did my head just get chopped off? And then you just see the body crumple and fall over. And now you just see the head staring at you, and it's like, hey, why'd you do that? No fair, I wasn't ready yet.
We're gonna stunning strike the head.
Uh-huh.
Automatic hit since he's immobilized.
Yeah,
Well, no, stunning
the
strike
head.
is just free when you make an attack.
Yeah, well, but you stun the head. It's not going to be able to resist this. And you just see him be like, hey! Like I said, I wasn't ready, but he looks even more confused and rattled than before. And
Alright.
the eyes,
the Fire Rex
the slightly,
currently
the
incinerating
slightly,
the body.
yeah, that's fine. And the slightly decomposed eyes are rotating in their sockets.
I'm having a
Of the force
flashback
of
to
the
Army of
glow.
Darkness.
Yes.
Alright, we're binding you here, fam.
Sorry, what was that?
How if we need to get closer?
You're going to get closer?
Yeah, I'm gonna get as close as I can. Now that he's up there, incapacitated.
You notice that the portals have not stopped having undead come out of them, but they also just seem to be mindlessly marching towards the city.
You should try to get him to tell us how to close those.
Hey, what's keeping these open?
Not him. You've realized that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna shadow step and drop the head at Sombra's feet.
I mean, or we just walk up there.
Yep.
Horror today.
I mean, is he technically dead yet?
It's safe to say he's dead. Technically, he brought you the head that's still talking. But the body is gone. You've noticed that the flaming T-Rex has incinerated it.
Uh-huh. If head's still talking, he's still technically alive.
I got rid of him.
No, he's still very much here. What's binding you here, dude?
Yes, why are you not dead?
How are you not dead? Why aren't the portals closing?
He says,
Explain.
what? He says, oh, I'm not, I can't just be killed like that. He says, I'm a lich. I'll just, even if you killed my head, I'll just come back later.
You
and
always
he
just
says-
slack your fam.
He says, wait a second. Where's my body? And then he's like, oh no! And then you can see, he's like, no.
Yeah, no, you don't got no
Wait,
body.
was his body
You lost the head!
He's like, no! He's like, but I totally had another phylactery. Yep. Anyway, so he says, even if you kill me, you wouldn't be able to stop me. He says, but you shouldn't.
Did you
Can
make
I-
your body your phylactery like an idiot?
Can I insight check that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, are you that dumb that you made your body a phylactery?
No, it's only 14 this time.
You're
I
able
did.
to tell he's still lying his ass off.
You
Oh,
made your
yes,
body
they
your
did.
phylactery? What the fuck?
Did
Idiot.
you actually do that? Let's go insight real quick. 18.
Yes, he did.
I fucking cringe.
And
Worst
says,
lich
well,
ever.
he says, even if you stop me, my boss will get you.
What's your boss?
He says, what do you mean with my boss? He's this really scary guy. Yeah.
Is it Morgan? Because Morgan's dead.
He says, what?
Morgan's a
Oh, no,
girl.
no. Hey, he says, no, Morgan made us, but she's not our boss anymore, and she's dead.
Where's
Who
your
is your
boss?
boss now?
He says, I never really thought to think about where he was. He just told me to come here and use that paperwork to figure out where I was supposed to make all these undead go.
Who is your
okay.
boss?
He says, well, and he says, wait, I'm not supposed to tell you that. I wasn't supposed to tell you any of that. And he says, I'm not going to say anything else.
Would you
And he
rather
tries
just kill you?
You could see he tries to like turn his head away, but he doesn't have a neck, so his head just kind of wobbles slightly.
I'm gonna pick up his head. You could either tell us and then die, or die. I'm just kidding. No, but you really gotta tell us, dude. Where do these portals go, anyways?
He says, oh wait, I was about to tell you again. You're really sneaky.
Come on, you gotta tell us something, man. Give us a little bit of a hint.
He says, oh, like a game. Okay. And he says, what's hot and unpleasant and filled with undead. Yeah.
Plane of fire.
No, he means the desert of death.
Yeah.
He says, oh, you figured it out. Wow, you're so smart.
Is it the tower in the desert of death?
He says, what? No.
All right.
He
So
says,
place.
he said, well, basically, my boss found these undead just marching mindlessly, and he was like, oh, I'll just take those. And then he met these other guys, and they were really weird, and they had all these weird demands. Let's see, one of them wanted gems or something, and one demanded blood. Some wanted destruction or whatever. Something about how they had deals, but those deals were gone now, so they were looking for new deals. I don't know.
Are they demons?
Mm-hmm.
He says, no, they were undead, fancy looking ones.
Ah, okay. Could you give us a detailed description of these people?
He says, oh, hang on, I had some paperwork on me that had pictures, and he's like, oh, wait,
I'm gonna walk over and see what's still there, if there's still the paperwork.
there's nothing left. Pile of ash. And he says, oh, wait, I could draw you a picture. And he's like, well, anyway, they're really interesting looking.
Define interesting.
He says, they look like regular undead, but different.
Different how?
Different how?
He says, they just look cool.
Alrighty then.
Cool how?
He says, like, these guys, they have this crazy armor, and, they have all these dragons. Yeah, they ride around on these big old dragons made of bones.
Oh.
Not these fools again. So, fuck, does that ring any bells?
No, not at all.
Fire Rex is currently just peeing on the ashes.
Does that ring a bell to anyone?
I don't think it rings a bell to any of the ones there.
Yeah,
Where's
no.
Fable?
Well, at what point was that?
That was fairly early on. We went to the desert. That's where we met. What's his name? Mark?
The desert? No, you right before you ended up in the desert. Yeah, I guess technically you met Mark, and you had the brief thing with the tower, and that was shortly after meeting Keith on the volcano, looking for the red cactus.
All right. Fucking dumb. All right, so we gotta close the portals.
Anyway, and then you see, and he says, anyway, so since I told you all that stuff, you're gonna let me go, right? Yep.
Yeah, sure, something
You
like
have to
that.
tell us how to close the portals first.
He says, well, I don't know how to close them. I didn't make them.
Who made them?
He says, I would have thought my boss.
Do you know where your boss went?
He says, I don't know, he's probably somewhere in the forest.
Ah, somewhere in the forest, you say?
And he says, darn it, I wasn't supposed to say that. He says, you gotta stop tricking me.
We're not even trying, honestly.
Not even trying the hardest, fam. You're just kind of bad at this.
He says, that's so mean.
It's the
I
truth.
mean, you ain't got no body no more.
How many portals are there?
Now that I think about it, can't you still cast spells?
He says, "Oh, can I?"
Oh,
Like,
I-
Not
you
if
can
it has
see
a
he starts
thematic
to chant.
component.
He starts to chant a spell,
hold his tongue.
and you just he's just like, well, I can't, and you just hear, well, I can't cast spells no more.
Stop. You, if it's just verbal components, you can still cast them. But you know, the whole being no hands, no body. I don't know how much they'll help you.
And he says, "You're mean. You won't even let me cast a spell after teaching me that I still can."
I'm not a fool.
And he says, "I just want to go home and make myself a third phylactery because I have a whole bunch."
I mean a third.
We know you don't.
Yeah.
The fuck?
So his eyes are like darting back and forth, and he's like, "No, I totally have more." And if an undead could sweat, you would swear he was sweating right now.
Oh.
How many portals are there?
5.
Can I try and dispel one?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll your ability check.
Is it just straight D20 or is it like D20 plus something?
It's your wisdom. You're rolling wisdom
Oh, okay.
in your case. Wow. Yeah. Well, that is going to beat the DC of the spell, so you dispel one of the portals.
Melee's gonna try to dispel one of them.
Let's see. Melee's a cleric, so also wisdom.
You have to know dispel magic for this, or can you just like
Fucking. This is
No, you gotta-
naturally do it?
They're using dispel magic.
Yeah, the actual.
That one's not going to do it. That totally fails.
fucking annoying.
Because I do know
Uh,
that spell. Just trying to figure out where.
Yeah. Then if you know the spell, you can upcast it, and then yeah.
Let me show you
And
the
for
card.
you, it will be charisma, not wisdom. Because the stat you use is your spellcasting ability.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
charisma stuff, magic. So
which way
just
did
straight
your boss walk?
charisma.
Yep, charisma.
Oh, I'm not supposed to have advantage for that, am I?
No. A 9 isn't going to do it.
Hey, what does your boss look like?
Oh, the fucking 3.
And he says, "Oh, my boss, he looks like," and he's like, "Oh, wait a second."
What does he look like? Beard looks handsome.
He's like, "Oh man, yeah, he is kind of handsome." And he says, and he's got 3 eyes, and then he's like, "Oh,
What's
you're
his most
tricking me
defining
again."
feature? What makes him so handsome?
He says, "Oh, he's got these. He's got he." He says he's got long flowing hair and 3 eyes. Oh, and his skin is this like really dark onyx color. And don't forget he's got 6 arms.
What?
And he's got 2 tails.
Certainly a very unique sounding creature.
And then he says, "Oh, and don't forget the way he talks. He has just the cutest little lisp."
Interesting.
He says, "Oh, but don't talk to him about the lisp because it makes him angry."
Oh.
No word.
Do you know which way he went?
He says, "Oh no, I haven't seen him in a long time. He just told me to come here and wait until the portal's open. So I've been sitting here
Oh, okay.
for, I don't know, feels like a really long time."
How long?
He says, "Well, I was sitting here, and it was long enough that plants started to grow on me."
Okay.
Okay then.
Hey, where's your main? Do you know where your boss is currently located? I don't know location, but Bane base is.
He says, "Oh, I'm
North
pretty sure
Bane?
he hangs out somewhere in the Desert of Death. He told me I wasn't allowed to come over to his place because I was annoying."
Doesn't sound like a very good boss.
He says, yeah, but whose boss is actually nice? And then he, in a moment of like not being stupid, he turns you on and he says, "Look, that guy's your boss, right?" And he kind of gestures with his eyes to Sombra. He's like, "Wasn't he just trying to cheat you out of paying you for killing me?"
You're not dead.
You
You're
know
still
I'm richer
talking
than
to us.
him, right?
No, I'll make the money later. I'm not worried about it.
And he says, "No boss is perfect."
All right, this is not going anywhere.
Skull got a point.
Yes, but he's also
A lich.
a lich.
Yes.
No, he's more like a demi-lich now.
True.
Yeah.
Well, what are we gonna do with him? Because he can't close the portals, and we need to close the portals, and you need to go kill the other undead, or figure out a way to turn them off.
Well, we've already turned off one of them.
But we could just burn all our spell slots.
We could.
I don't even need to use my spell slots. I just need to expend charges.
Oh, with your staff, right?
I wonder,
Yeah.
could we get enough clerics together to cast a
Well-
magic spell?
You'd have to go ask the king for his clerics because he's guarding. He has all the clerics in his castle with him.
No, but first we gotta close the portals, though.
Yeah. We
We'll
may
try
as well
again.
just keep trying and then. Hey, you look like you're having
Close
trouble with that
portal.
spell. Here you go.
Fucking, I'm gonna.
Add a D4 to that skill check.
It's not an ability check.
It's not.
No,
You're casting a spell.
you're casting.
Hold on.
Against AC.
Hold on. What's the wording on dispel magic? Because this is the rule if it's higher. Right?
Let's
For each
see.
level, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. The DC equals 10 plus spell level. It is an ability check.
Oh, you got me there. All right. Well, that will be just enough to do it.
Oh, just time to just keep throwing stuff at
So 2 portals are closed, right?
Well,
I think that's all.
3.
All right, one more portal. Let's try. Let's go one more
Here, I'll-
time.
Throw another one.
Fucking cry.
God damn it!
Yeah, not even guidance is going to be enough for that. Oh, there goes Kieran.
It's 2 3s in a row.
Wow, that's really shitty.
Annoying. I'll just use all the slots.
Yeah, Kieran is close to the portals already.
All right, that's
One
all
left.
the portals then, right?
No, there's
No,
one
'cause
left.
One left. We got
Left.
4. There's only one more. Anyway,
Fucking try again.
what's the try again?
Who wants to lose another spell slot?
Fucking.
Wait,
Ah!
hold on. Wait, would a max D4 be enough for that, or is it
No,
D217?
no, it's higher than that. Yeah.
I'll use one fucking.
Alright.
Yeah, that's better.
Does he need guidance on that, or is that
No.
19 good enough?
19 will do it.
All right, all the portals are closed.
Well,
so
there
now
goes
we're
all my 3rd level spells.
Yeah, and then the Lich is sitting there and he's like, "Oh no, you closed all the portals. I'm gonna get in so much trouble."
That's
Nah, you're gonna.
It's still hordes of
die.
undead, right?
Yeah, oh, there's still tons of undead that came through.
Which is
And
why
they're
we're
all-
gonna go to the castle now.
Now, here's a question I would like to ask. What happens if we put the head of a demi-lich into the magic null room?
Into the what?
Magical null room. That room
Well,
in the magic.
nothing. He just lives.
That's
I
it.
don't think much will happen.
Nothing will happen. He doesn't. He's not like
Which
Just
means we
saying.
can torture him.
you can't like what the fuck? Hello?
You can't suppress the effect of being
Lich stone.
animated. Yeah, it's already Like it's done. There's no active spell anymore. It changes what you are into a lich. It's all
Yeah.
done already.
But the
He
point
ain't got no
is,
phylactery.
he's gonna be sitting there for a long time, and we can play games with him.
We're
He
gonna
can't
keep
do
you
it's
around
not
anything
for a
about
bit.
it.
I mean,
But
it's not a
first-
bad idea.
No,
You
it's
could
not.
use him as a source of information about whatever the fuck.
Let's go to the castle real quick, though.
We should probably handle the rest of the undead first. Like
When
getting
we're passing by, can I just randomly cast fireballs on the zombies?
Yes,
I
yes,
was
you
just
can.
gonna I was just gonna cast teleport, so you leave it to the castle.
Okay, well, I'm gonna at least fireball the ones nearest to us. So that
yeah, you can do
some
that.
of them
And you see
burn.
the lich is like, oh, that's so cool.
You're
Yep.
pretty easily impressed for a lich.
All right, let's go to the castle, and I want to talk to the king because I need the clerics.
What I will say is this is why you don't make a lich out of somebody who is extremely below average intelligence and wisdom.
It's bad. It's bad. All right, it's king time. Time to talk to fucking fuckboy.
All right, so yeah, when you get to the castle, there's a comically large amount of guards, like rigged like on every inch of the walls. You just see the Turtle Guard and all the Elven guards just everywhere, and you see intermixed all the clerics of the entire like kingdom just kind of in there.
Fucking kill me.
I can't do that for you.
I'm just gonna walk
Unfortunately.
up to the throne room.
Well, actually, when you get to the door, one of the elves yells down, "King Obnoxious told us we can't let you in if you're undead," and he says, "And you have to answer these questions if you're to prove you're alive."
Open the door, or I'm opening the door for myself.
And one of them's like, just let them in. You know this is gonna be stupid, right? Like, obviously we could tell they're not undead. And he's like, yeah, but that's what the king said. He's like, come on, you know we ignore the king's orders. It's fine, as long as he doesn't know about it. And you just see them having this argument, you just see a third one be like, and you just open the gates for you.
Yeah. All right. Also, yeah, I'll deal with that later. Oh fuck it. Someone's gonna get fired. All right. So let's just go to the fucking throne room.
Yeah, you go in there and you see even more guards in the throne room. Like it's jam packed with guards, and you can just see King Obnoxious sitting on his throne drinking whiskey.
Uh-huh.
Can y'all guards go like
The spiked
into the
whiskey,
town and start
right?
killing the undead?
Yes, the spiked whiskey. And he says, no, the guards have to be here to make sure that the castle is safe. Yep. Yeah, he says there's a lot of undead running around out there. They're really dangerous.
Yes, then you need to go kill them.
He says, no, that's what you're gonna do.
No, we already closed the portals. Right now, we need to fucking get all the clerics and start purging, or cast a giant fucking spell, so we can get rid of all the undead.
He
You know
says,
what's a better defense? A good offense.
Not wrong.
If we gather all the clerics in one big circle and have them all fucking pray really fucking hard.
And the king says, well, that doesn't sound very safe for me.
You'll be fucking perfectly. You're not undead, are you?
He says, I don't think so.
Then you'll be fine.
What's a few words to a living being? Words normally just hurt.
He says, fine, you can have some of the clerics.
I need
But then
all
they
the
have to come
clerics.
right back.
Fine, they can come
Give
back
them-
right back after we do this, but I need all the clerics.
And he says, fine, well, at least I still have all the guards.
I need like half the
Exactly.
guards to go deal with the city.
And you can see he's looking at the guards and he's like, alright, you know what, you can have the turtles. I hate them anyway. They won't leave me alone. And
No,
he
the
says, all
turtle-
you turtles, get the hell out of here. Go do stuff.
The guards. I need the guards, the people with the fighting capability.
Yeah, that's the turtle guard.
Oh, the turtle guard? Actually, you're pretty good.
Yeah. They're the ones with the huge ass plate mail and giant weapons.
Alright, can you guys go, deal with make sure the citizens aren't fucking dying?
They said, well, one of them says, well, seeing as the king told us to do it, we'll do that. You know, we really like the king. But he just,
I
for
know.
some reason, he's just so compelling and We just want to help him out.
This is Bell.
Such a good guy.
He's not a good guy.
He says, we're pretty sure it's a good guy anyway. You see them all, like, form up in ranks and just march out of the gate, swinging their weapons around wildly, crushing undead. And you just hear them being like, you hear one of them start singing, they're all singing. They're basically singing, hi ho, off to work we go. For King Obnoxious, off we go. We go, we go.
Uh-huh.
You just see citizens fucking cringe.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you can see up in the trees. You see the citizens face palming en masse.
oh no!
The mass
All right,
facepalm
let's go get
incident.
all the fucking clerics together, so we can cast this spell.
Yeah, so all the clerics are outside on the walls. So when you get out there, they're all just kind of turning and looking because everybody can hear the conversation from outside because Obnoxious is so loud and
Yeah.
obnoxious.
All right,
Mm.
let's get this fucking show on the road. Why is this so
And-
hard?
Just an idiot makes it harder. And so all the clerics start to chant the spell, and along with the Turtle Guard are able to basically just snap their fingers and bye bye undead.
Everything that's CR2 or lower just dies.
That's most
Actually-
of them.
Actually,
see
what
the-
would it be if it's all the clerics simultaneously casting a spell?
Yeah, that definitely would be more powerful for sure. I'm gonna say pretty much you see like a handful of undead that aren't destroyed by it instantly, but that are weakened by it, and then you just see the Turtle Guard walk over and crush them.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And you see the people in the trees being like, finally, like cheering and clapping because it's over with. And you see the guards like being like, whew, we were really worried there.
You guys are getting a pay cut for a little bit.
And that gets a resounding wave of boos at you that you're cutting their pay.
It'll literally be for a fucking week. We have to fucking spend so much gold. We have to fucking fix so much shit. This would all been over if they just did this in the first place. Fucking-
Yeah. And then when it looks like it's all clear and good, then you see somebody run into town and be like, "There's more undead coming!"
Yeah, there should be. There should be a bunch of undead coming.
And you just see the Turtle Guard kind of walk in that direction, killing undead. And then you see again a few minutes later, somebody comes running in and says, "There's a whole bunch of portals down there."
Fucking open.
Fucking.
Let's go to the portals.
Where'd they come from?
And the Lich is like, "Oh, I bet my boss made more portals."
I'm gonna go kill your boss now.
Where's
Where's your mans, man?
Where
Where's your
is he?
fucking mans in the desert? Tell me.
How close do you have to be to make those portals?
He says, "Oh, he doesn't have to be all that close. He can look through any one of the undead's eyes. All it needs is to have just one there."
Oh god, alright.
Actually, does that portal come from where your mans is?
He says, "Oh, probably."
Alright, we're going
And
through
then,
the portal, guys.
and then you see him. He was like, "Oh shit, damn it!"
Alright, guys, let's go through the portal. Come on. We're going in the portal.
Why?
That's concerning.
We're gonna go beat a man up.
That sounds
He's
like the
gonna
usual
catch this
thing.
fade.
Who's going through through first?
Huh? Let me turn you up.
I think he said, "Who's going through first?"
I'm gonna go through first.
Oh, all right then.
Well, I would have volunteered if nobody else did. Let's go.
Does everything seem fine?
Yeah, when you get on the other side, you're standing in the middle of the desert, and in front of you is our gargantuan, like, structure that looks like some kind of ancient temple.
Mm.
Mm.
I guess we'll go. Wait, what is this temple made of?
It looks like it's made of stone.
Dune.
Hold on.
And you notice that there are portals all over the place. There are so many undead everywhere. and mass amounts of portals.
Is this relevant to anything?
Well, I guess if you want to make a history check on that stone.
We're gonna make a history check on that stone because we can.
Well, even if you double your proficiency on that.
I have no proficiency on that. So technically it's 0. There is no bonus.
No, it says you automatically you're considered proficient in the history skill for this. It says it in the description.
Okay.
So even if you
Okay, so that's a +5 then.
Yeah, that's not gonna do you. Carter doesn't get the Carter doesn't have the stone cunning thing, so that history is not gonna do it. That one's a little better. That one, you can tell it's definitely an elvish temple. Ancient though, old, and you know how long-lived elves are, so it's really old.
This is fucking old, dude.
Probably back from when the forests used to contain the Desert of Death before. Before the War of the Gods kind of left this terrible place here.
Yeah, before the fucking sundering of the earth.
Yep.
Sundering of this area. This is like old elvish, like old ass elf. Like my grandpappy's kind of grandpappy.
That's not good.
No, this is really bad. The fact that this is here, that this is someone's here like this. Oh god damn it, this is bad.
This is gonna be a headache.
It is. Well, let's keep going then.
Yeah. So all around the outside, you just see undead pouring out of that facility, and there are like tens of thousands of undead in the area, just pouring through different portals, walking through them.
Where are the other portals going?
You see, they're all. You can look through them. You can see they're all in various different places in the forest.
God damn this guy. Oh, we have to go find the man then. Well, he should be nearby if all the portals are here, right?
Well, I mean, but the guy's like, "Oh man, the boss's place. I've never been here." And then he's like, "Oh wait, shit, I shouldn't have said that."
Probably not. But it's a little late for that, so why don't you tell us more?
He says, "I don't really know much more. He never let me come here. But he did say he had all sorts of cool stuff. Whatever that meant. I wasn't paying enough attention to remember exactly what he said." And actually, when you start to approach it, 3 gargantuan skeletal dragons land in front of the entrance to the temple.
Wow.
And riding on their back is a trio of vampires.
Yeah.
And they say, "Sorry, you can't come in here."
Stop.
They say, "Yeah, we made a deal. We were going to guard the outside of this place. Nobody's allowed in. Sorry." And he said, "If you come any closer, we're going to have to drink your blood, which we won't mind, but looks like a troublesome pain in the butt.
I mean,
So, seems easier for everyone if you just leave."
Well, there's currently.
You hold up the head and say this guy needs to speak to his boss.
And one of them looks down and they're like, "Who the heck is that?"
I don't know. You guys left me in the forest for a long time, so there's that.
They say, "Oh, we've never heard of that. We've only been working for this guy for a short period of time."
Nah. This is an old head. He's got tenor. We gotta go speak to the boss.
And they look and they say, I don't know. He said no one who's alive is allowed to come in here.
I mean,
Does he look alive?
does he look alive to
he's
you?
He says, "You're right. He doesn't look alive, but you do. I can smell your blood from here."
I mean, we're kind of his guards right now, technically. So come on, dude, just let us through.
It's guards.
I mean, he is only a head.
He's only ahead right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a deception roll on that one. His
He-
guards.
Hey, you want me to
Oh,
make a
do we
deception
do?
roll?
Oh, do we not look like guards to you?
Here, have a deception roll.
That's not bad. And they say, nonetheless, we made a deal, a contract. We keep everybody out, we get all the blood we want from those elves. And elven blood is the best blood.
Do you know why he's just sending hordes of zombies into an elven kingdom?
He said something about it's what his mistress would have wanted.
Well, his mistress is dead.
I don't think he cares about that.
True. All right, now that the negotiations have broken down, we need you to step out of the way or perish.
And they say, we're smart enough to sense that we might not survive this fight. So let's make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some blood.
Like, how much we talking here, though?
They say, And they say, half a liter from each of you.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
of blood.
no.
There's a lot of blood.
That's a lot of blood.
Wait,
How
above
about
table.
I give you a
does
lot
Carter?
more blood from one person.
That be?
Carter is holding up a
That's
flask.
That's a lot of.
Oh,
That's a lot of
Carter,
blood.
you're
dude.
not thinking what I.
Yeah, that's a pint of blood from each of us. That's kind of like a lot of blood.
No, you do not have Keith's flask.
No, he's holding up a iron flask, one with a particular worm in it.
Oh, you're holding up the worm.
Yeah.
Ah.
Was that right there?
The
I don't think Mela was there.
That's why I'm asking.
No, I don't. I do believe Mela was not there, so she would not know about this worm.
I don't know that about the worm because I'm dumb. I'm asking out of character.
But Kieran does.
Yeah, the worm, he has a blood worm in there.
Yeah.
Okay. That could work.
Try.
I toss up the flask and release the blood worm. And I am giving them some. Well, Hey, Johan, just give him a little nick on the side right there. Just enough to get him bleeding.
Sure.
So now we're basically draining the worm of 5 gallons of blood, and then just patching them up like a cow.
Alright, well, it's gross, thick, slightly black blood comes out en masse, and one of the vampires is like sniffing the air, and he says, that doesn't smell very good.
Well, it's a lot more than you were asking. It'll last you longer.
And then the third one who's been silent says, alright, you know what, I'm gonna test this. And he hops off the dragon, and he walks over and he pulls out a ridiculous crazy straw, and he sticks it in the blood.
Uh-huh.
And he takes a sip. And then he's like, it is thick. And even though it doesn't look that good or smell that good, it's actually pretty good blood. And he said, tastes really old, like this guy's been around for a long time. Well aged.
See? There you go. An even better offer.
And he
How often do
said,
you get to have some of this?
and he says, well, we probably won't get this again. He says, yeah, we can go attack elves whenever we want.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Sure.
He says, alright, you give us that blood and we'll let you go inside.
Deal. It's a 5-gallon bucket of blood.
And you can see all three just get off the dragons and stick crazy straws in and start just sipping from it.
Nice.
And then you hear one of them as you're walking away be like, it's a shame our previous deal got ended. That one worked out the best for us.
What deal is this?
Do you ask them that?
Yeah, I'll ask him that.
And one of them says, "Oh, we had this great deal with this guy. We met him. We met him, and he agreed to give us blood every once in a while, and his blood was really good."
What's his
Do you
name?
remember his name?
And they say, "Oh, we remember his name," and they say his name was Korbal.
Korbal.
Horrible, horrible. What have you been up to?
Hmm.
You know,
Just.
a shame he isn't here to answer for himself.
What must you say for yourself, Korbal?
Orbal's not here. Don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
He's not here. He's not here. Too bad. He's gonna have a fun time trying to explain this to us.
Oh
And he
yeah.
is here. There's no escaping this.
I'm sure he'll come up with a very valid reason that we all fall for.
There's no
Those
valid
memes
reason.
are not helping your case.
Hmm.
Anyway, all right.
Uh,
So you're able to the vampires let you go inside the building, and when you get in there, see, the first thing you see is very neatly arranged row upon row upon row of extremely heavily armored zombies, standing in perfect line at attention, unmoving.
of course. Yep.
And you see, running around, you see like little tiny zombie spiders crawling up on them, climbing inside their heads, then climbing out and scrolling down and running around, like checking them each one by one. And you can see off in the distance, you see a single skeleton standing there, and every once in a while, one of the spiders runs up its arm and goes near its head, and he's like, and then he checks something off on a sheet of paper. And as you're watching, eventually one of the from above, out of sight, you see webs shoot down and grab one of them and drag it off, and then the zombies just kind of sidestep to close the gap where that one was standing.
That's
Interesting.
Definitely.
So, what do you do?
What
Do we-
to do?
do we kill it? Do we just leave it there? I don't know.
I don't know.
And then actually, the lich that you're carrying, the lich head is like, I feel like I know that guy, but I can't remember.
Is it your boss?
He says, "No, that's not my boss." He's like, "But I swear I know that guy." He's like, "But damn it! If only you hadn't gotten rid of where all my memories are stored."
When you're a boss, I'm gonna fucking slap you.
Oh my god, you're not very smart, Lich.
Is it like a subordinate, a friend?
He says, "I definitely saw him once, but so it was a long time ago."
Was he next to your boss?
He says, "Now that you think about it, I think he was near the boss."
Like his second in command?
He says, "No, definitely not." And he's like, "I remember. The last time I saw my boss, he had a whole bunch of regular undead. I'm pretty sure that guy was one of them. I think he got a promotion."
He did, and you didn't. How does that make you feel?
He says, "Well, that's okay. I already have a super important position. My boss told me so." What did he call it? He called it the Grand Commander of the Paper Doorway or something.
You've been lied to.
He says, "My boss wouldn't lie to me."
Eh.
Are you sure?
He says, "Pretty sure. Why would he lie to me? In from that." And he says, "Ah, damn it! I told you more stuff again. Stop tricking me."
We're not tricking you. You're just saying it yourself.
Yeah.
Something you're saying to yourself, so.
We don't even have to try. We don't have to trick you. You'll just talk if we ask.
He says, "No, I won't. I won't just tell stuff just because you ask me." He says, "Go ahead, ask me. I'll prove it."
Do you know? So you kind of remember that guy over there? Do you remember anything come to you when you look at him?
He says, "Yeah, he just was a regular zombie before, but now he looks like he gets to be in charge of all these guys. Also, now he has a spider or something. Look at that."
Yeah, ain't that neat?
Creepy.
Wonder why your boss wouldn't promote you like that, huh?
He says, "Oh, I'm afraid of spiders. And the dark. And oranges."
Wait, why oranges?
He says, "Isn't vitamin C bad for your bones? I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere."
I. No, that's not true. That person lied to you.
Vitamin D is what you need to build bones, but if you have too much vitamin D, then your bones just dissolve.
That's the sun, though.
Well,
Yeah, he said
vitamin D
vitamin C.
supplements can cause that.
He's just saying he supposedly heard a rumor where oranges were bad for your bones, so he didn't eat oranges and he was afraid of them. He said, "So I had oranges wrong, huh? Ah, I learned something. Aha!"
Yeah. Sure. I would guess that thing's still just doing.
And he says,
whatever.
"I can't wait to write that in my journal." And then he's like, "Aw." He says, "You burnt my journal."
Why did you carry everything on you?
He says, how am I supposed to write in my journal if I don't have it with me?"
You could just write it in it at the end of a day.
And he's just like, "Man, you destroyed all my stuff."
Good.
Yeah, that's a shame. So are we just gonna take that guy out, or leave him be? Keep walking? I don't know.
Johan is bored. He's gonna shadow step and kill him, and then shadow step back.
Alright.
When you do, you kill him, and he falls. He kind of just turns into a bunch of spider webs, and then you see they slowly start to reform into his body. And the Lich is like, "Whoa! Wonder how he did that." And then he says, "Wait, are bones made of spider webs?"
Sure.
No.
No, that's
Switching
definitely
out.
not
Should we
normal.
burn?
Burning is the solution.
And
Most
then when
things.
the head of the one that Johan destroyed comes back, and he's like, "Oi, what are you doing? I got work here to do."
So
Like-
do we. It involves
Like
stopping you.
what? What is so important?
He says, "Oh, I'm checking to make sure that these zombies have all their bits in their head. The really damaged ones don't follow orders so good, so we get rid of those. Most of them are good, though."
That's good.
Interesting.
He says, "This is the main attack wave. We're gonna just kill all those elves."
I mean, or you could just not.
Well, he says, "Well, why would we not?"
What's the point of? Why would you though?
He
Carter,
says, "So we can make more zombies."
Carter
Why
is
would
going
you need more
to
zombies?
have.
He says, "So we can take over the world with zombies."
I
Then what
don't think
happens
it's
when you
gonna
take
work
over the
out that
world?
well.
He
Carter's
says, "Well,
going to
then we
have
get to be in
the
control."
Fire Rex bite off the head and burn the body. Now we have 2 heads.
I think it'll just reform.
Yeah, it's start to reform, and he's kind of ignoring the damage to his body. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna take over the world, and then we'll be in charge." And
And
Yeah.
then what?
He says, I don't know. I'll have to. That's for the boss to decide.
Where's your boss, by the way?
He says, oh, he's inside. And he says, I know I can tell you that because he wouldn't be in here if you weren't allowed. There's no way
Good.
you can pass those vampires.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, there's no way we could have.
Yeah,
There's
no
way we
way.
could have, yeah. We need to go speak to the boss, though. Speak about getting this dude a new body.
He says, oh, all you have to do is go through the labyrinth and you'll be fine.
Alright, is there a shortcut through the labyrinth?
He says, not that I know of. Not a very good labyrinth if there's a shortcut.
Do you know how many
Is
turns
there?
it is? Like, what the turns are? Like, how do you get through the labyrinth?
He says, no, you just have to find your way through.
Alright. Can you
It's
show
a
us the
security
way?
measure. He says, well, I've never been in there.
Alright, cool. Is it like I'm gonna go open the door if it's the door.
There's a door.
Is it like just like straight into the labyrinth, or can I see over the labyrinth?
Oh, no, it's straight into the labyrinth.
Okay.
Fantastic.
He says,
Alright.
all you have to do is go through all 5 floors. You'll be fine.
Ah, there are 5 floors?
Yes.
Musical.
So how did your
Take a
boss
while.
get down here?
He says, oh, I'm pretty sure he has a shortcut.
Ah, I see. Do you know you in the labyrinth room, or is it like does he come
Nah,
out of like place?
He kind of just appears and disappears.
Like apparates and disapparates?
Yeah.
From where?
Well, wherever he wants to.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna look for like a shortcut.
Carter is actually going to switch out to the phase spider.
Should I investigate or should I use reception?
Investigation would be the one for this. Why are you switching to the spider now?
Because he can phase through the wall and scout around to see where the shortcut is.
Smart.
25.
Okay, with that, you do not find a shortcut. You do, however, see the footprints in the dirt going in a whole bunch of different pathways. And you can see the guys say, oh, and by the way, lots of people go through there, so those footprints won't do you any good. I mean, maybe somebody got through, but there's so many sets, how would you know?
Sure. Is there a way for you to contact your boss and like get him to come down here?
He says, not me, I can't contact him, he contacts me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, when the spider is ethereally trying to go through the walls, it bangs into them.
Well, I tried.
I'll give you a bet for trying.
I guess we're gonna try.
Yeah, we can certainly try.
Anyway, he says, off with you now. I got work to do.
Alright, into the labyrinth we go, I guess.
Oh, and as you're going, you just get commentary from at the first fork in the road. The Lich is like, "Oh, go that way. I'm pretty sure it's that way."
And let me guess, it's the completely wrong direction.
Who knows?
I don't think we should. I don't trust the Skull of Directions.
Have you been in here before?
He says no.
Then how do you know?
He says, "Oh, I'm really smart and lucky. I always know which way to go."
Or maybe the opposite way.
Either way.
Yeah, that's what JoJo recommends.
When you get to the next one, he's like, "Oh, go that way."
Go the opposite way.
And he's like, "Why are you going the opposite way? I'm trying to help you."
Because with your
You're
life,
helping us. Just keep
you are
saying.
helping us. Just keep telling us which way to go.
He says, "All right, I'm gonna keep telling you which way to go." He tells you which way to go all the way through each time you
doing
hit
the
a fork in the
opposite.
road
Just keep
until
doing the
eventually
opposite.
you hit a thing that has 3 different ways. And he says, "Oh, you should go left."
Go left? Why left?
He says, "I don't know, probably the right way." He's like, "There's a 50-50 shot, even though there are 3 pathways." He's like, "Yep."
Is it possible to check to see if there's footprints that are there's more footprints in one pathway or another?
Sure. Roll another investigation. Anyone who feels like doing that.
Boom.
Wow.
No, that's not mine. Damn it.
Not Carter's strong suit. However, I see some other investigation rolls that are quite excellent. So yeah, going one way, there's a lot more, and going the third pathway, that the second one that wasn't recommended, there are only one set.
I guess there's only one set here. Let us go. I think this is our target. We'll go
Right.
through here.
Alright, so you follow that pathway all the way through to the end, and when you get to the end, there's a big chamber. And in that chamber is another one of those dragons, and on top is a skeleton with pointy horns and a giant lance in his hand. Then he shouts, "Yes, I finally get to fight somebody." And then he shouts, "Leroy Jenkins," and he charges in at you. But that's where we're going to end today's session.
Aw.
Uh.
I was looking for some bat.
We'll be picking up with that next time.
Yep.
Oh.
With literally a guy yelling Leroy Jenkins.
Yes.
Man charging us, yelling. Yep. Who we got to deal with next time.
Yep. Oh, but I'll put out what that guy looks like for you. He looks like...
Do we need to ping Red to end the stream, or are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for that picture.
Okay, hang on. Oh, that's not good. Hang on. Let's see if I can't. There's something wrong with the file. It's all like a white page, even though it's supposed to be. Okay, hang on. No. Well, that's not good. Okay, I'll get back to you with the artwork of this guy. For some reason, I can't. Yeah, I'll post the artwork of him later.